Hare Krishna, dear all. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Now,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol, Haribol. Okay, so thank you all for coming for today's the final conclusion of this Bhagavad Gita program. Sorry, Gita Gyan program. So we have been going through for the 18 days, and of course we had a very good journey in this 18 days journey. So today is considered the conclusion, whereby we will invite all the students or participants who have joined this program to share their express their what they call their transformation. So what are the transformations that happened to you and how well it has impacted to you? So today is the day that you're going to express yourself. And today the date is on 23rd August 2024, Friday. And on this auspicious day, we gathered to discuss on this matter. And before that, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Padakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamcha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Charistarine. That's it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today is the day that I'm so happy actually. I'm so happy and I'm so excited to hear a huge transformation was happening in everyone's life after applying that 18 days Bhagavad Gita. Because we were like, okay, now we have some new people here who are coming in to have a look. I think Mr. Arul is here. So what the idea about this program, I mean this Gita Gyan program, is to give you a summary of every chapter. So in total, we have 18 chapters and 700 verses. So every day we gather, we just take 2 hours of your precious time and to discuss and also to give you a summary of what to understand in that chapter. So it's a very systematic way of studying. Bhagavad Gita is not only a book that people say is for religion purpose and all. It's okay, that's one side, yes. But the most important is Bhagavad Gita is a book whereby it gives you the scientific way of approaching life. The most important, we understand the 5 basic truths. First, we start to understand about ourselves. We must know ourselves. Who are we? What are we? And why am I here? And what is my relationship? So everything is why. That means every human being, the constitutional position starts by asking question. We are all asking question. So Krishna says that we should ask question, right? So why? Why this, why that? So that is called intelligence. The intelligence is only aroused or awakened when a soul starts to ask question. Right? We are put into a very awkward position here. We are in a very awkward situation. Sometimes we are stuck in between, right or not? Like a married man should have understand between mother and wife, mother-in-law and this. We are sometimes stuck in between and we are so helpless. Like that, we are stuck in so many matters between life and death, between mind and intelligence, between me and my relationship. A lot of things, right? So Bhagavad Gita systematically addresses who am I actually? And secondly, am I an independent person or am I under control? And who is controlling us? And what energy does he use to control us? And what types of energy are they? There are two types of energy, okay, marginal and spiritual, okay? So inferior and superior energy. So there are two types of energy. That means, what am I? And what is this body is made of? And what is that subtle body is all about? Is committing suicide, is it a good idea to curb our problem? Because in Bhagavad Gita, we understand when we start to study Bhagavad Gita, and we start to understand ourselves, we start to see that all problems that basically right in front of our eyes, actually, there's no problem at all. Why? That's a secret revealed in Bhagavad Gita. The question is, am I the doer? All right? And what is inducing my activity? All right? So, like that, we have passed through these 18 days systematically, and I'm so happy to hear devotees have taken up this Bhagavad Gita as their lifestyle. This is the best inspiration book that you can ever think of. Spoken 5,000 years ago, valid till today, right? Because it's spoken by a perfect person. Okay, perfect person, the person without any flaws. So that's the thing. And today the recording. So now we are recording this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this recording to my authorities. All right, we want to show that how this program has really created an impact, especially on RDC formula, reading, distributing, and chanting. Then how this program is impacted. At the same time, I also would like to send a copy to my spiritual master for his perusal. All right, I want him to see that how this Gita program and how the devotees around the world are accepting Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is not a sectarian book. It is not only isolated to Indians. All right, it is not meant. This is the book meant for human beings. They can be from any background, any varieties. All right, it's not necessary. You have to be Indian. It is open for every human being. And also here, the word Sanatan Dharma is explained. Like now we see we're having a lot of challenges, right? People like Firdaus Wong and Zamri Vinodhan. These two people are coming and try to create so much disharmony, right? Between the Chinese, Indians, and all the other things. So what is this Sanatan Dharma is? What are they trying to say? Okay, we need to train our children to understand this gospel or the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. Because in Bhagavad Gita, it will teach you beyond this bodily concept. And it will explain to you what is Sanatan Dharma and what is the eternal, what is that material Dharma is all about. So you see a lot of differences, all right? So without further ado, so I would like to invite, I think because Iskandar Balan Prabhu is having a program after this, so you would like to start first. So when you speak, Prabhu, I would like you to like on your camera, and because let everyone see you and your get your darshan. All right. So so with that, we will start with Iskandar Balan Prabhu. You can start, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, and Hare Krishna, fellow devotees, Matajis and Prabhus. We all just meeting first time, but it was nice and interesting to hear from our Chinese Prabhus who have got so much more inspiration, and that puts me into a situation where my understanding is so much more lower, and how I had this jewel with me, but I did not even understand this. So my journey in Bhagavad Gita actually took us only about 2 years ago, but together with Prabhu's inspiration and teaching in the last 18 days here has taken me to a different level of understanding Bhagavad Gita. The classes I went before was all very basic, of course, and that's what it was meant to be, level 1. And with that level 1, the information was enough for us to take us to a start. But going through Prabhu's class was more than I thought it would be, and I think it was still very useful because it did not sink me. It actually floated me to a point of understanding Bhagavad Gita a lot more better. And I think I needed this rather than just sitting at level 1 and level 2. So Prabhu's combination of all these 3 levels was actually a very beneficial one for myself as for my own understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So it took me to a different level of understanding, and I could understand the way Prabhu was putting a lot of good pointers inside it. These pointers is actually very important because when we go through this class, I did the Gita Gyan before, generally they run through the whole statement, understanding that we will come back later. We may just understand the top because they may feel that if we give us too much insight, we may be lost. But Prabhu's one was line by line. I liked that because that was actually very inspiring, because every word you take up, you give a meaning to it, and you put little nice boxes in between to show us the words which is there. Because usually when you read, you tend to skim across and you forget that. But when Prabhu's explanation, it starts to you to pick up those little words which are very important, and that is what I found great inspiration on this. So then it started to realize that how much more Bhagavad Gita actually had hidden information, which we I sat and read through. I would not have picked up because I would have just glanced through and go on reading it just like any surface reading. So that is the one good inspiration I picked up from this. And naturally, although it's a 2 hours school class, I don't even feel it because time was just running, and it seemed too short because by the time you already picked up, it's time to leave already. So the 2 hours is perfect because I think the style of how Prabhu has been giving us, it's where I think it's kept us awake and kept us going, because your tone was never monotonous. You always up and down. You gave us a bit of a stronger tone to certain words and a little bit more mellowed, and there was a little bit of humor in between, which is all good. This is what I think we needed to keep us awake all the way through. So that was another thing which I felt absolutely different from other classes I went. And I, of course, Prabhu's exposure to Bhagavad Gita, one, of course, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. All this is where I can see Prabhu puts in has examples and giving us views of understanding how each factors were put into this, so that we have a bit more strength in what we are reading in Bhagavad Gita, because eventually we will have to read all that, but I don't think we need to load ourselves too much. But the point is, with his vast knowledge, he gave us a bit more clarity on how Bhagavad Gita is trying to put in. And I also like the simple chanting method of focusing on Krishna's uh, uh, positions on his foot, on his hips, and his chest and his head. That was very well said, because I never picked this up before from any other class, and that actually puts me into a very thoughtful process as I'm chanting. Usually, you tend to lose focus. When I realized I was trying it in the last few days, and I realized my focus was actually placing on it, and I can keep my chanting going while my mind is still focused on Krishna itself. So that was a good thing which I picked up. Of course, there are other smaller things which Prabhu has taught us about, how chewing the food, which is all, it seems small, but I think it's very important, because this is where we culture ourselves. And when we culture ourselves, we eventually come out as a great Vaishnava. We have to put all this in place. And those are the little things where we tend to neglect: cleaning ourselves, cleansing, how important cleansing is. These are all important factors in our life, so that we are truly becoming great Vaishnavas and slowly moving into Krishna's lotus feet, and that's important. So the Sanskrit pronunciation you did give us a bit, Prabhu, there. I'm trying to still learn a bit. I'm sure I can't remember everything. I know, but I'll definitely follow up with yourself again and try to get a few more pointers on that, because I think it's so good to know exactly how to pronounce each sloka, which will be so beneficial for the years. And of course, you have given us a few apps to follow up, and that will be great. We'll be also touching base on that. But the biggest thing I picked up from this entire course here, Prabhu, is the RDC. And believe me or not, of course, I've got the Bhagavad Gita from your package, which is here, and I've already distributed 3 in the last 2 days, and to total strangers. I could not believe it. And when I was sitting across and I was talking to my friend, another person was sitting by the side, and he started to get a few more pointers and started to talk a little bit more, and that aggravated into a better conversation. And eventually I I told that I have one set with me. If you want to, I can always pass. And he willingly took that. And so of course, one of my, definitely my niece took one of them, but two others was total strangers who took in. So this is all just good move where I know Krishna is just giving me the opportunity to push through and get things going. So I would thank everything for all your great effort, Prabhu. I know this is not the end, and this is definitely the beginning, and I'm going to keep in touch with you, Prabhu. So for me, it was a great course I went through, 18 days, and this is just for me to start on and have more inspiration to go through, Prabhu. And that's all I have for now, Prabhu. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to thank all the other devotees who are together with us, that we all joined the same class. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam. Prabhu, that was so inspiring. That was so inspiring to hear that actually you have distributed that two Bhagavad Gita to total stranger. I mean, who are they actually? I mean, how do you know them, or what was the opportunity for you to give them a Gita?
One was actually my working colleague. I do not know him directly, but of course I have got another colleague who was talking through, and we started talking. He's Punjabi
Oh, okay.
background, and another person was totally. You won't believe it. She's actually housekeeping lady in the
Hmm.
hotel.
I
And
see.
she saw my Bhagavad Gita books and all, because she came to clean the room and she started to see it, and then she started to talk. I just came to the room to pick my stuff up, and then she asked me, "What is all this?" So I told her this is all Bhagavad Gita. I started to tell her, and she said, uh, "Oh, I will be interested to know more about it." I say, "I can give you anytime you want." So that's, and she was willing to take it. So her inspiration and continued listening power, realized that she is into need to hear more. And so I could see, of course, when you talk to somebody, they're interested to hear more by their expression, so that itself gave me to give the starter, and it happened. So after that, I left it to Krishna, because I'm not going to see her, and I'm pretty sure about that. They're all just part of the organization and part of our life. So it landed in a hand.
That is amazing, Prabhu. Bhagavad Gita is a book which is alive, and we don't know how the book is going to like inspire us. I have known a person who have bought a Bhagavad Gita, and it was on the shelf for the last what 5 years, so 5 or 6 years. Then one day he came, he was just so bored, he don't know what to do. Suddenly he saw the book. What is this book? And he just took it, and his life is totally transformed. So Bhagavad Gita, there's no loss or diminution. The book is like really creating a big impact.
Very true. I felt them, and I definitely, it was such a surprise. Never knew.
Yeah.
Never knew things would be going across to total strangers. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Happiness, you feel different, right?
Of
It is
course,
not
of course.
come from your heart, it's blissful. Something
Right.
that cannot be.
Absolutely right. It's and the feeling is nice, because you're talking about total strangers and they're totally accepting it. And so that tells you that Krishna is behind all this movement, and that person needed it, I guess. So, and that's how it went to that person.
And you know what is the best part? Krishna chose you to give it to him. So that means Krishna is paying attention on you. You are the
won't
way.
believe it, Prabhu, that that lady was telling me, "I'm so glad I am talking to you. I got all this knowledge." I was thinking, I said, "It's all from Bhagavan Krishna." அவர்தான் கொடுத்தாரு. I told her that, but she was so much praise, and of course I didn't want to say all the words here, but yes, it threw me to to a different level of
Did you realize that
understanding.
you were surprised that sometimes it was not you speaking, and you'll be wondering how the words came from you?
That's true. The words just you didn't plan this. There was no planning. There was no stage show.
Correct.
And then it was impromptu, and then here you go, and the questions were just sort of flawless for the answers.
There's no sales pitch for this. It is something that means, in other words, the Chaitya Guru, that the Guru in your heart, that Paramatma, he just start to speak to convince them. That's what I'm telling you. RTC formula is a formula where you really personalize with Krishna. When you read Bhagavad Gita, you are reading his instruction. When you chant the mantra Hare Krishna, you are chanting his you are chanting the mantra that's from within him. That, I mean, what they call that Krishna's, that means Krishna's attribute, his internal potency, Madhara, Ladini Shakti, and you're calling upon Krishna, the most attractive one. You're calling upon Rama, the reservoir of all pleasure. All right. But when you distribute Bhagavad Gita, when it's not simply like people want to take a Gita from you, when you just give a Gita, it is something from you. That means Krishna is talking through you. That means it's a total kind, it's a total feeling. Right? First you're reading about him, then you're asking his mercy, and now he's speaking through you. You complete that puzzle.
Very true.
Complete blissfulness. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You have inspired me. I think many of you I think you're well inspired. That's very inspiring testimony from Skanda Balan Prabhu from Sramban. Thank you so much. So that's the thing. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary kind of book. It's a book of wisdom. It's a book of application knowledge. It's not book on theory, right? So when we buy a vehicle, say like we buy a car, there's a book, right? The guidebook, how to use it. Okay. Then of course there's another book, do's and don'ts, and your safety measures. All these things are given to you. First is, okay, what is this car is all about. Second is do's and don'ts and the safety measures. Similarly, as we were here, we born, so we were all running hither and thither, wondering which is which. No, we are somehow or other lost in wilderness. But Bhagavad Gita is the one that tells you, okay, what you should do. It's a summary of the entire Vedas and the essence of the entire Vedas nicely presented in Bhagavad Gita. Very nice. So, is there anyone else like to share your testimony?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, can I share? Prabhu?
Yes, definitely. Jai Sri Ganesh.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful.
1 minute, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes, Danda Pranam. So, Danda Pranam to Patita Tarna Prabhu, and then Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Then special dedication to Guru Maharaj. So, I've been ISKCON for many years, but I especially known Patita Tarna long time back because Prabhu is very giving great class. So I know Prabhu long time back. So I wanted to come for class. So this is the opportunity to attend Prabhu's class, whereby I'm attending 18 days. But of course, due to busy work, but I couldn't come. But still, Prabhu gave me chance to listen to this recording. So I really love the classes, and I just want to quote certain verses. That is chapter 5, text 29, which is Bhaktaram Yajna Tapasyam Sarva Loka Maheswara Surdam Sarva Bhotanam Jatva Mam Santim Ichati. A person who is in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attend peace from the pangs of material miseries. So this verse actually Prabhu have explained, which is actually is a click to my mind, which is actually is a main verse that whoever knows Krishna, whoever fully depend on Krishna, definitely there is no all the miseries from this material world we can overcome by simply depending on Krishna. And then there is another verse which is Kala Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, which is just by chanting, no other ways. So these verses actually kept in my mind, which is so total 18 chapters, first 6 chapters, which is karma, which is focused on karma, and next 6 chapter, which is bhakti, and last 6 chapter is renunciation. So Prabhu explained very well, which is each chapter. Even though I learned from ISKCON Jagannath Mandi, Kuala Lumpur, and also I learned from Patita Pawan Prabhu last time in university. But this Patita Tarna Prabhu, I mean, like Prabhu have explained very well, and actually I learned a lot because Prabhu give a lot of good explanations, real life explanations. Especially I like, especially because there's a one time because I've because I came to know about chapter 8, attending the Supreme, which is actually I used to tell this chapter 8 to dead people or whoever in the hospital because it happened in my real life, which is actually my grandfather, my relative, which is actually I recite this verse and he was actually very serious. And when I said this verse, I got shocked because he was after that he was came back alive and then he was I mean like how to say become normal because he's supposed to die because he was in ICU. So that much of effect I can understand from this chapter 8. So when I asked this question to Patita Tarna Prabhu and Patita Tarna Prabhu have explained me very well and Prabhu have shared me his life experience, which is actually imbibed my life and I learn a lot of knowledge from Prabhu. So I hope I can hear more classes from Prabhu and then it also affects me a lot because lot of the verses I mean like I used to read I already read Bhagavad Gita but I read it again but these classes give me more understanding whatever chapters whatever texts which I don't understand it actually helps me to understand more in depth so that I can be more focused and then Prabhu have give me a lot of great examples which is actually and then the videos and then the charts. And sometimes Prabhu will highlight all the verses, which is actually amazing to me. So I hope I can listen more classes from Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Jai Shri
Thank
Ganesh.
you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. That is my life mission, is to serve others. And the thing that I'm feeling very grateful here is to see that a lot of transformation is happening, especially this verse. Actually, this is my truly a favorite verse, right? So
Yes.
it's very inspiring, yes or not? Bhaktaram yakna tapasam sarva loka maheshwara. That's
Yes.
beautiful. Sarva loka maheshwara. Okay. Suhirdam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shanti mrachati. What he says, a person of full consciousness of me. Okay. When a person is full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices, the Supreme Lord, and the benefactor of all wishes. Okay. Then also what he says, that means he's what they call a Supreme Lord of all planets. So what we can understand from here, we are all badly affected by these planets, right?
Yes.
Now you see that whenever we challenges come in, we immediately go look for astrologer. Mr. Astrologer, tell me what happened. Oh, this Sunny is sitting this floor, staring at that floor, what, Buddhan? And this Sunny and Buddhan not gum. And
Then I
if
like and then I like Prabhu always say like you are fortunate soul because you have came to class, listen the class after 8.4 million of species. So I like that also.
yes, Prabhu. So what we can understand from here, when we simply read Bhagavad Gita, when we just sincerely, even we do not need to worry about our astrological chart. Yes or not?
Yes.
That is something inspiring. He says, a person who are fully conscious of me, Krishna says, if you always remember me, conscious of me, I am the Lord of all planets. So when you talk about all the 9 planets, Rahu, Ketu, Sunny, Buddhan, Vyalan, right? Then what else?
Surya, Chandran.
Chandran. So sometimes when a person is having Chandra Dasabuti, Chandra Dasabuti, is it? Yeah, I think so. Chandra Dasabuti, you see everything will start to go very slowly. All right, your success will come slowly. Then you start to see when Sunny, when it comes 7.5, Yalra Sunny, or Ashtama Sunny 2.5. 2.5 is what? All the 7.5 summarized into 2.5. So it's going to be even worse. So why we all scared of Sunny? Because things will go very slow. So now, as Krishna says, if we understand this, we have no worries about that because he's the Lord of all planets. So that means no planets can really affect you. All right, that's very nice. Very nice. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, we will still have more classes. And of course, 2nd September, we are starting again. So everyone can also come for a, what they call? For a second dose, right? Okay, thank you so much. So now, anyone else? Krupashini, are you ready?
Can Prabhu. Sure.
Can you on your camera?
Yeah.
So, see you.
Okay, can you see me? Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Okay, my name is Krubashini. I'm 24 years old. Firstly, I would like to be I'm so grateful, first thing, to Krishna for allowing me to be a part of this program. Also, not forgetting my twin sister who attended this session first, almost a year ago, or the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first session. So it was from her. But during her time, I was thinking, why 18 days have to sit and read the Bhagavad Gita for 2 hours? It wasn't really very possible for me at one point, I thought, because I'm a medical student, so I was attending classes, and I thought it's okay, just try to get some knowledge from my sister from whatever she read. But with Krishna's grace and mercy, I was able to be free this time around during Gita Gyan program batch 1 this time around, and I joined in, and I cannot believe it, but I'm so happy to say that I'm so grateful. It has been the best 18 days of learning each chapter, not forgetting Prabhu's appearance every time he ons his camera and say Hare Krishna to everybody and starts his class. Honestly, like everyone said, like the two people before me who said that Prabhu's enthusiastic movement and the voice, the tone during the sessions made a huge difference in cultivating the motivation for me to actually start reading the Bhagavad Gita. So to be honest, on the first chapter, the class finished. I did not read the first chapter on the first day after the class, but it went on and on and on, and I told myself, wait a minute, this I have to read each verses, because all the verses that Prabhu share in the slides, there are certain verses are not there. So in order to understand this particular verse that Prabhu is talking about, it was very important for us to read the whole chapter to understand it fully. So I went back and I started reading. If I'm not mistaken, on the second day onwards, I started reading it without fail, sometimes even before the class. And I think that understanding, I'm still in the beginner. On the 18th day when it finished, I was feeling so much of joy, but not because I've completed 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, but because the joy was so immense that I started feeling that this was just the beginning for me to start reading the Bhagavad Gita more and to understand it more. And also, in addition to that, lately I started having so much of consciousness upon Krishna, and also upon whatever that Patita Tarana Prabhu has already taught us, especially on the modes. So the modes of goodness, goodness, ignorance, and also passion. Passion, right, Prabhu? Yes. So these three modes. So I started putting myself into the situation and telling myself, okay, wait, what mode are you in now? And also the mind and intelligence, to know that I have to always put my mind, to put myself and see myself from the mind and intelligence view and tell myself, no, this is not me. And I've lately also realized that I've stopped using the word I, and the laziness has gone away. I'm back home for holiday, so holiday is always all about being lazy, enjoying. But to know the last 18 days have gone on reading Bhagavad Gita, I feel so happy, and I've no words to even express it. Especially staying with my mother, who's not very well. She's quite ill. She was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and currently also some orthopedic issues. So she's having osteoarthritis and etc. I've always spoke to her after each chapter. I'll tell her stories. Today Prabhu said this. Today Prabhu said that. And Prabhu, to my surprise, there's something I need to share with you. About 2 to 3 days ago, my mother woke up in the morning and she told me, Shini, I don't know who's the Prabhu who teach you, but I had a dream, she said. I was like, you had a dream, okay? Why? What's with the Prabhu and what's with your dream? And she told me that in the dream, she met somebody. She doesn't know how you look like, but she met somebody, a Prabhu, meeting her, encouraging her to come in to a center, and it's located in Ipoh. She told me Ipoh, and it blew my mind. I was like, Amma, what are you saying? You said Ipoh? I said, sorry, did you say Ipoh? She said, yes. Then I told her, did I tell you this Prabhu is from Ipoh? She was like, what? She couldn't believe it. She was like, are you serious? I said, yes, this Prabhu is from Ipoh. And she told me, that somebody is calling her to the ISKCON center back in Ipoh. I couldn't believe it, Prabhu. I immediately called my eldest sister and I told her, Amma said something like this. I don't know who to go and tell this. And my sister, who's currently pregnant, just 2 months, she told me that Shini, once everything is okay, when the time comes, we should go to ISKCON in Ipoh. Bring Amma there, because there was a very magical moment that happened last year when we went on a trip to Penang. And they're going to close already. If you know, I'm sure everyone knows the Penang ISKCON temple. So we went there. It was already past 8, going to be past 8. We were the last people to pay a visit there. And the Prabhu there, the priest there who was doing the prayers, he saw my mother walking hunched forward like that. He brought her all the way to the forward. He gave her tulsi. He gave her a small chanting chart, and he blessed her and said that don't lose hope. Continue praying to Krishna, and one day you'll walk back into the same temple straight, walking straight, and you'll be healthy back again. And that day until today gave so much of hope for my mother. So with all that, I try to relate every classes with my own family and my own situation at home. Being a 24-year-old, many might think that not much situation, you're just 24, you're a student, life is okay. But so many things, especially having a parent who's ill, it makes your situation so much difficult to actually even focus in what you're doing. Because for myself, particularly, I care for my mother a lot. So knowing all that, reading the Bhagavad Gita, glancing through and understanding each verse and chapter of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita made a huge difference in the way that I see life. And like Prabhu said in the beginning, it's a scientific knowledge on how to work on life. Initially, I was thinking it's just the way of life, way of working on life. But to know the science behind it, it was beautiful, Prabhu. I'm again happy that I finished 18 chapter. However, the happiness is not because I completed the first round of it, but to know that this is my beginning to my transcendental knowledge. And also, Krishna is so kind-hearted. Honestly, I noticed that in the last 18 days. I've always known his existence, but never really paid attention to him. This reminds me of Prabhu's one line where Prabhu said during the class that you're all the fish that Krishna has already caught using the bait. It's just that he lets you go and then he catches you back all of a sudden. You'll feel the pull, and that is so true. Throughout this time, my father's side, most of them are Hare Krishna devotees. However, my father did not really continue properly into the Hare Krishna movement. But lately, I'm not sure if y'all can see, this is a Prabhu of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. This is my uncle, and this is his baby. So I found pictures like this a lot of these pictures, even a picture of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj smiling. I didn't bring it up, it didn't manage to get it here. A picture that they captured of him smiling, face to face. And these things I started finding out very lately, just whilst throughout these 18 days. And I look at Krishna every day when I pray, and I'm like, Krishna, you're bringing everything forward to me. Is this the time? Thank you for making me and showing me the way that today, these 18 days have led me to the beginning of this transcendental journey. So Prabhu, I am so grateful to you and to all the Prabhus who have started this program. I'm so grateful. As a 24-year-old moving on, I feel like life, there's so much more ahead of me. I'm starting my final year this September, knowing that I'm going to start the final year after the blessings of these 18 days, and I can carry these lessons forward. I'm so grateful to everyone, also the ones who have joined this session. CS Prabhu, Chong Prabhu, Skandapalan Prabhu, their experiences, their input throughout the whole session was so helpful for me to bear and understand so many things throughout these verses. So thank you all so much. And I hope that Prabhu, I will try my best to keep up with the RDC formula. And I've decided something lately that I'll start gifting my friends for their birthday Bhagavad Gita whenever I can. So with that being said, thank you all so much. And I pray and wish that Krishna blesses all of us with all the goodness in the world. Thank you so much, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wow. That was indeed very inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Because sometimes when we're doing class, everyone will be, the camera is off. And while I'm talking, back of my mind, I'm wondering, do they really understand what I'm saying? I think in class also I've said few times, do you really understand, or is it the class I'm giving too heavy? But today I'm very surprised and I'm overwhelmed to know that certain principles start to applicable to you? See, many years ago,
Definitely.
you met Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami, and that attempt has never gone waste, right? As I say,
True,
there's no
Prabhu.
diminution. Whatever you have done in this birth, you're going to continue in next birth. Right? In your previous birth, you can be a doctor, but this birth, you can never be a doctor. You have to start from ABC. But like that, once as a and I'm very happy that you have caught that analogy that I gave, how the fisherman. You know,
Yes.
because I was I was like, somebody sent me this thing about fishermen and everything. Sometimes I see, the small fish they catch, pop, they immediately take out. But the big fish, they just let go until the hook become even tighter and tighter. The fish will be more pain, struggle until the fish give up, and the fisherman easily pull out. So you have taken the bait. You have taken the bait. Krishna have thrown the bait and you have taken the bait. And I'm also very overwhelmed to know that the recovery of your mother, your mother is responding. Of course, we know that this body is made of these 5 element, material element. Okay. Whatever it is, then we just pray to Krishna if at all. Right. So if he recovers and everything good. Okay. But about the dream, I'm overwhelmed. I'm so
I still cannot believe it, Prabhu. But even when I'm telling you, I'm having goosebumps because the moment she told me, it was in the morning when she told me, I was blown away. I said, Ipoh, are you kidding me, Amma? You said Ipoh. She's like, I'm from Gomba, Batu Caves.
Gomba, Batu Caves, okay.
Yeah. So I was surprised and I told her, I've only been to Ipoh once, Prabhu. So it's not a place we often go to. But I told her, when the time comes, Amma, we'll definitely go there. We'll try to have a meet with Prabhu. Then she was like, okay, we should go. Soon, Prabhu, soon.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
You
you,
are
Prabhu.
inspiring me. I feel more inspired. For me to do this program, at first I was thinking to do, not to do, because I was busy with other things. No, I should do, not to do. And I feel I'm getting so dry. And I let's say, just do it. Yeah. Worth the effort. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And no word to say, but I just one word. Thank you so much. To take it and of course study the Gita religiously, word by word, because it's a book of wisdom. Don't think after you run, okay, I'm done with Bhagavad Gita. For the last 31 years, I don't know how many times I've read, and I'm still every day. It inspires me, and I get overwhelmed. All right, and I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you and your mother back in Ipoh one day. All right, be my guest, and of course, we also planning to create because now we have created our own Bhakti Yoga Center. The center that we have created and of course dedicated into this Chinese preaching and this thing. So I've set up the center. So we are also working on it. Let's see. So one day I hope that once you become a doctor, you get a posting in Ipoh.
Yeah, who knows, right, Prabhu? For my houseman, 2 years I'll be there. I'll do my service whenever possible, definitely.
Yes. That's it for Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you.
honestly, I would definitely do it if I'm there or wherever I am after this. I can't wait to go and do a service in Krishna. I've been to Taman Yal's Krishna temple for Janmashtami last year, and it was wonderful. Even for Radha Yatra, we followed the prayers and everything. It was wonderful, Prabhu. I hope on Monday I can make it also.
Yeah.
This year.
Please do make it. And of course, Tuesday is proper appearance, half day.
Yes.
So, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So what we can understand from here, age is not a factor to read Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes when we approach people to talk about Bhagavad Gita, I say, you should read. He said, I'm still young. I'll do it when I'm old. Right? And some say, as a young person, what do you understand of life? What do you understand? Right? How the thing will do this thing. But now, this is one good example. She's a medical student, and one thing that she shared during the class was she always get stressed out whenever she need to do these group studies. So group studies. So in one of the studies of Bhagavad Gita is don't expect anything. Just do your job. The result, give it to Krishna. He will take care. So like that, she just don't care what the fellow classmate or the one who's supposed to discuss about group studies or group project. She just don't bother. She just went on doing it. And she said that gives her a tremendous peace of mind. So the peace of mind is only not meant for old people, all right, or those who have matured, those who are married and all this. No, it is important even for a child. So to encourage your children even to study Bhagavad Gita is going to be a fantastic decision to make. Okay, so thank you so much, Rubashini. So Who's next? CS Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. I was really inspired by Kribashani's testimony. She's only 24 and she speaks like wow. You know, and I think back, I was 24 and what was I doing? Huh? I dare not say in public. Okay. So there are three things I learned from this course. One is that the Gita Gyan gives a comprehensive bird's eye view of the Gita. And a bird's eye view is important because it is likened to milestones on the journey. Yeah? And these milestones keep us on track in the direction of our destination. So having the opportunity to see these milestones is something very rare. Yeah, as I shared in the video before, I am very new to Krishna consciousness, and in the past I've been experiencing all the traditions, you name it, I've been there, including New Age. So when I say experience, I mean personal experience, not just intellectually experience it, because I wanted to know exactly what it was about. So going through this Gita Gyan, course, I can say that it is really good. And of course, any course that we take, the teacher is very crucial, and giving the relevant milestones based on personal knowledge, practicality, and honesty. These are very rare qualities of a desirable teacher. And Prabhu, you showed these qualities repeatedly again and again. So I'm really thankful to you, Prabhu, and for the opportunity to cross paths with you. Like I say, any course that we take, we get something, but a lot of it also is because of the teacher. Yeah. And then the third thing is that when the course was over, Prabhu, I felt sad. Yeah. Like, oh, this good times have come to an end. And I also felt that it was about taking the journey myself. Okay, I've been with some really, nice friends or buddies, if you can call it. And then now it's time to take the journey myself. And then facing my own challenges, knowing that not everyone will understand them because they themselves have their own challenges. And then with this sadness comes that longing, to relive past times when I was a school kid, when I ran and played in the rain and mud with school friends. That was the best of times. And I was also hoping that, one day, how nice it would be, to run and play with Krishna like the way we kids, we boys run and play with one another in school. So Prabhu, these were my three thoughts. Essentially, seeing the Gita, opening, getting a sight of the Gita, and not just having light shine on my eyes, but actually having my eyes open to see the Gita through. And then, of course, the opportunity to meet Prabhu, such an excellent teacher, Prabhu. I mean, I'm holding back my tears now for having this very great opportunity, to learn Gita from you, Prabhu. And then, of course, the longing, the sadness that this cannot always be like that. The way Prabhu gives us, we cannot experience that kind of camaraderie all the time. We must face our own individual challenges, travel that road ourselves. So there's that kind of sadness. And then the longing, to say, oh, how nice if you can just run and play with Krishna in the rain and in the mud, wrestle with him. How beautiful that would be. So it's that longing, that sadness. So Prabhu, I don't know how to move on from here, but definitely, if we were school kids, Prabhu, in school, not now, school, I would definitely hug you, Prabhu. So with that, this is my sharing, and thank you again, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You have been such a wonderful person, Especially, I've always looked forward because sometimes to check and balance. Remember, I always talk about check and balance. About my class is when someone asks a question. Yeah, like TK Prabhu used to say, when there's a lot of question, that means your presentation is good. So after end of every class, I'll be just wondering, oh my God, I hope someone asks me a question. And I'll be always looking at you. Yes, yes, Prabhu is asking a question. Wow, that's good. And the longing, the missing is actually that ecstatic feeling. This is the ecstatic feeling that a pure devotee experiences. And Krishna is showing you the glimpse of it. So you are the chosen one. Develop this from here. Chant Hare Krishna daily. Read daily, word by word. Okay. Then slowly you try to evolve yourself into Srimad Bhagavatam. And you start to see lots of things. That's why this book is amazing. It is full of nectar, right, Prabhu? So
Oh, yes.
nectar. It's like you just can't stop. You just can't stop reading it. Yeah. And sometimes these books speak to you. These books speak to you. So, like just now, I had an issue. I was quite worried about my daughter, who are just she's doing SPM. I was just like, oh my God, what's happening and everything. Then I was just before the class starts, I just prayed to Krishna and I just opened a Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna told me, you know what? I am the knower of all body. And to understand, that is knowledge. Remember? I am the knower of all body. Because I, as a person, I only know my body. But Krishna says, I know all bodies. So what example we discussed that day? Can you remember, Prabhu? The tenant and the landlord. So what Krishna is saying, you don't worry about that. I know what is going on in your daughter because I know that. And to know that is knowledge. And it gave me so much of solace and say, take a breath of relief. Because Krishna really speaks to you. Okay, we are not a sentimental way of practice. Scientific, and Krishna really speak to you. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Prabhu. So I hope to meet you one day. If I come to Jagannath Monday, I definitely would like to see you. And if
Yes.
it happens to come, please be my guest. Please come. Right. So thank you so much, CS Prabhu. So here is a proof
Thank you.
that Bhagavad Gita, the ecstasy of Bhagavad Gita, it is not only to be enjoyed or to be felt by Indians. Any human being who study Bhagavad Gita, doesn't matter whatever his background. He can be a white-bodied man, black-bodied man, brown body, yellow body, or whatever body. As long as they have a living force, which is called consciousness in their heart, they can relish Bhagavad Gita. Imagine, spoken 5,000 years ago, valid till today. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So next will be Vanita Mataji. Are you ready? Oh, Charana
Good.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Thank you
Who is-
very much for sharing your experience of your daughter in Form 5 because I have a similar daughter and similarly, she's in
Can you-
Form 5.
Can you on your camera
Oh, okay.
so that everyone can see you? Okay.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I've been worrying about my own daughter and you have just given me the answer. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. When I was a young child, my grandmother and grandfather were people who were along the spiritual line. My parents were teachers, both of them are also along the spiritual line. So it seemed to be a continuous thing that I have learned from them. When I was 21 years of age, someone gave me a Bhagavad Gita as a gift. I took the Bhagavad Gita and gave it to somebody else. Then when I got married, I went to Penang for Thaipusam. There, on my way down, there was this Hari Rama Hari Krishna group who were serving prasadam. So I just took out money because we packed our own food and went. So I took out some money and gave as a contribution I was so happy that there's somebody giving food for free for anyone who wanted. So I gave him $10 and he told me, "There, a book for you." I said, "No, no, no, I don't want a book. I got no time to read." He told me, "No, you must take the book." And he was so insistent. So I just took that book and I kept it in my prayer room. Then I've joined a spiritual organization where they give and receive light. It's very close to the Gyan Krishna Center. So Saturdays I'll walk past the Krishna Center and listen to them singing, and I'll just go to my place. And during the lockdown, I couldn't go to temples. I couldn't go to the Maitari Center. I couldn't go anywhere. I was locked in the house. And the only service that I could do was as a mother, as a wife. That's the only limited service that I felt that I could do. I couldn't reach out beyond. Then I had storybooks in the house. I packed the storybooks and made moving libraries and went and gave houses with many children. And the next thing I knew, there was Bhagavad Gita class online. So I quickly joined the class and I just sent the links to as many people as I could. Then I joined the class and they told me I could buy Bhagavad Gitas. So I bought as much as I could and I kept my stock. Then once the lockdown was over, the class came to an end. These books that I had, I continuously kept giving to people as gifts, those who wanted to buy. This Adi month, the Radham passed in front of my house. And instead of giving drinks and food, I decided to give the Bhagavad Gita to the young children who are working so hard, helping out with the Radham. It was an Amman Radham that walked past my place. And the young boys who took the Bhagavad Gita just looked at me as if they, "Wow, Auntie, thank you for the Gita." And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, thank God these children were so accepting of the Gita. So there's a very good chance they will open it and read it and the soul will shine and their journey it's an opening for their journey. Until I thought to myself. Then, but I was a bit sad because my stock of Bhagavad Gita is running low. And I was thinking to myself, how am I going to continue distributing anyway? Let's just leave it in God's hands. And the next thing I knew, there was another Bhagavad Gita class online. And Prabhu, you invited us to join your Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you very much, Prabhu, that you are being of a service to Krishna and to the gurus and are working for this plan to continue and pray that we will all jointly, continuously be of service to accomplish the will of the universe. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. God bless you, Prabhu. Thank you very much to all the gurus. Thank you very much to my classmates who had come and join us and shared their experience and bloomed into beautiful flowers and inspired each one of us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our ancestors for setting the path, for planting the seed, for all the opportunities given. Thank you very much, Prabhu. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Vanita Mataji was one of my first earliest student. Joined me on Gita Gyan program on February 2021 during the lockdown. And that time I was new and I read Gita, but I don't know how to explain. So she has been such a great instrument. During that month of 2021, that means from the month of February to December, I managed to distribute with all these participants 5,400 sets of Bhagavad Gita and 200 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vanita Mataji was the biggest motivational factor, right? She was recycling it. That means, in other words, She distributed many Bhagavad Gitas and everything, but she only had limited chanting bag and beads. So she go to every house, just give the beads and bag, please chant. And next day she comes and said, have you chanted? Yes, take back the bag. Now go to the next house. Now give it to you. Like that, she did a fantastic service until at one moment she had big challenges. I mean, she didn't realize there was a tear on her dress, and suddenly there's a wind blew. Nothing actually stopped her. She never felt humiliated, and she just went on doing this RTC formula, reading, distributing, and chanting. And ever since then, I start to see that there's so much of transformation happen in her life. And I'm so happy and grateful to you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So next, Charan Lakshmi Mataji, I saw you just now unmuting. You want to speak?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to our His Grace Patita Tarana. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my feelings here, Prabhu. Then all Panchanga Pranam to all my Zoom participants who are present today. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. First, when you are the first mentor to teach me about the Gita again. But when I first read Bhagavad Gita, I totally don't understand at all anything. But after I joined your classes during the lockdown, I tried to understand a bit. And later I will understand more after I distribute, as a gift, I sponsor books. Now today, Prabhu, it's difficult for me to there's a new changes. Each time I research lokas, there's a stimulation in the brain. So welcome. So I came to conclusion that temple songs, the Gita songs, is to stimulate, is a boost for brain and a catalyst for my soul. That's what I can say, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. Charan Lakshmi Mataji is from Taiping. So she also have joined that Gita Gyan program earlier. Okay. And now she has also joined in again. And she also have gave me some inspiration to go further, to do research on other books, like small books like Ishopanishad. What's the Ishopanishad you told me? Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion. So she asked me to move forward to do this. And of course, she's also like always call and tell me, you should, the way you describe it's good, but you have to adjust here and there. Such a nice, wonderful devotee from Taiping. I've not seen her, but when I went to Taiping, first time I saw her. And of course, in Zoom, everything is virtual. But of course, when you go to see them, so such a wonderful devotee. And now she's currently in Penang Island, serving in one of the Namahat. So thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much for your inspiration. Hare Krishna. So next, who would like to speak? Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. Are you there, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu?
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Can you on your camera, Prabhu?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu.
Yes.
I'm not a man who can talk a lot. I'm not a man of words at all, Prabhu. So I feel a bit reluctant to talk, as others are very good speakers, like the Dr. Mataji and all. They're very, very good speakers. But I'm not that fluent in speaking like that. My life has been a bit different. But I attended your classes, very personal, Prabhu. I've attended these Bhagavad Gyan classes a lot of times, especially from Chennai. I hope you know the course, the study Gita course, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
In many ways, especially that also started during the lockdown with Gita made easy, then Gita given a bit more advanced, and then the third time was very advanced. It took about 1.5 years or 2 years to finish the course. And then again, every 6 days, every 10 days, it's the same. People will talk about Gita, but every time I felt it's a bit not personal. But along with you, I feel it's very easy to talk to you, very easy to approach to you, and your explanation with all the sketches and tabular columns and all makes it very interesting. I read the Bhagavad Gita numerous times, but whenever I come to the chapter where Kshetrajna are concerned, that question of interaction, I could never understand. But the way you put it, the way you explain, it made it so easy. And I'll never forget that part of your lecture. Anyway, Prabhu, I hope you hold more calm because this few days, I am feeling that you are rushing through because you got a limited day. You already said 18 days and trying to finish all chapters within the 18 days. I feel each chapter should be given a few 1 week or also time for us to read and prepare for it. And also to read it again after your class. That will be a bit more better for you to understand. You're packed with knowledge, but then you're rushing through. And it is very difficult because you read only a few verses, the rest of the verses are left alone. But some of the verses contain lot of things we should know, especially when explained by you. It will be wonderful. It would definitely be wonderful. Anyway, I enjoy. I felt it's a very personal cause. We could approach you anytime. Further, it was in the morning and the night. So if you have some program and you miss it in the morning, we could always catch up with you in the night. It was nice, Prabhu. There's no, you were not rushing it at all, and it felt very easy to approach you, to talk to you and understand whatever you said. I think I'd like to stop with this and saying you thank you very much for your Bhagavad Gyan classes. Actually, I don't know much about you. It is one day, Narasimha Maharaj, I think was in your center, and during the lecture, he said, all of you must pass the Bhakti Sastri course and listen to Bhagavad Gyan. Especially now, you can go to Ipoh, they're holding classes very frequently. Remember? That's how I came to know you, through Dr. Narasimha Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is a very humble devotee. He's a devotee, I think is 85, right, Prabhu? Your age?
82, Prabhu.
82-year-old. And he's formerly a royal physician.
No, Prabhu, leave that alone, Prabhu. Please, please, Prabhu.
Who became Agum. So he traveled the world in style. Look at that humbleness. He's so humble and he's, because at first I know him as Datto Dr. Menon. That's how I got his contact, as Datto Dr. Menon. Then I was talking to him. Then suddenly I was saying, okay, one day I'd like to see you. Then after that, when he came for the class, I saw his name as Vaishnava Kripa. I said, oh, then he said, you got initiated, such a wonderful devotee, very down to earth, humble. And one thing that I was very excited during the class, when Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu asked us praise, there was in Bhagavad Gita, you see there's a sloka translation and the purport. And in that long purport, he just said he wants to understand a particular paragraph or sentence in that verse. That made me very excited. You know why? I start to realize that devotees like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is studying word by word of the purport. Sometimes when we, I think Iskanda Balan Prabhu was telling, saying when he studied, he said that sometimes when we read, we miss truth. We just go through that paragraph, suddenly we just jump. We don't even think about it. So I started to create this method, how to study word by word, understand every sentence. Because every sentence of Prabhupada is actually basically a conclusion of the entire Vedic literature. Okay, so and when Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu said, can you please explain to me this? And after that, I think CS Prabhu also said, okay, now can you please explain this? I can't understand. Like, I think you asked about Parabrahma, right? You asked about Parabrahma. What is now we understand. There's Parabrahma that on what they call Tattva, what they call Mahatattva. Under Mahatattva and also this. So we discussed. So that was so nice of you, Prabhu. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. Thank you so much. And please bless me so that I can go on doing this. I love doing this. But sometimes I need inspiration. Of course, as a human being, we need inspiration. We need idea. So with your blessings, I think everything should be fine. Can be done. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So who would like to speak next? Shyam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Chong. I'm from Johor Bahru. I just came back from work. I'm rushing in. So there's a lot of things to talk about in my mind. But then it just happened that the thing just goes off everything like after hearing all the Prabhu and Mataji inspiring testimony. So it's like well, they've said everything. So in this discourse, I'd like to say that is that after in the beginning it is a vibrant situation. So it's very inspired us to observe the situation of our life in this Kali Yuga. And Prabhu nicely put out that even the first chapter itself was telling us that people who observe the consequences of life in this material platform, there is a lot of difficulties and all that. And from that first chapter, he inspired me that we will question deep in our heart. We had such a desire that we question that situation, and we really need the solution in our life. So by that, I come to understand that was already the first step already. And second step, what happened is that second chapter, it comes that unless we come to the identification, this identification, we are misidentify ourselves in this material world. So on and on, on and on. So the light of the Bhagavad Gita was dissipate the darkness of ignorance. So I'd like to thank you that Prabhu did put it in a sense that it was so dramatic and it was so inspiring because of that kind of thing directed deep into the mind and into the heart. So actually, what I find out is that Gita Gyan is knowledge. They don't change our life, but it transforms our life. So really appreciate on that. Notice that such transformation occurred only if we able to receive or to understand our identification that we are the soul, and we are supposed in that Sanatanan stage, that means our dharmic as a soul is to serve. So serving and all these things, from that point I saw Prabhu is the way he put a lot of thing out of his what do you call enthusiasm. It seems like he just want to something come out from his deliberation that he wanted just to serve. That's why when he come and said, "No, we need to come into this RDC system," so that there is something after learning from Gita Gyan, there is RDC. That means every day we read the Bhagavad Gita, we distribute Bhagavad Gita and chanting. So this already RDC is itself also a motivation. And of course, without the devotee, who can serve Krishna? Because of only the devotee are merciful to transpiring this mercy of Krishna. So I can see the light of this in that during the course of time. So many times I just when we meet devotee, we just think that we are just the kind of people in the walks of life. Never took that kind of consideration that they are devotee. So Prabhu also in the discourse had put the kind of thing, the mindset, yes, devotee is devotees. They are different. And on the course of that, after the 18th chapter, of course, I got a lot of things to say, but I just lose it because after the 18 days, things are so refreshed, so enthusiastic, and so energized. After the 18 days course, it's like the switch already switched off, So it was put me quite a syndrome, but like something I felt emptiness and maybe certain kind of separation also. So I haven't get over it yet, but I definitely would appreciate that in this effort put by Prabhu. Definitely is out of his heart because the discourse, the whole discourse throughout the 18th chapter, it was not even one is slackened. So I can see the kind of enthusiasm. Then I recall that in Krishna consciousness, we need enthusiasm. Only by then we can perfect our path. And of course, the Prabhu also always very kind in his word, humble, humility. With all these things, maybe they can make us concentrate in an easier way, and then really further up our enhancement of life, and then set the example that we should be able to follow. And of course, gratitude is the magnitude in Krishna consciousness. So only devotees are merciful. They transpired that mercy of Krishna to us. And I'd like to thank you for this special. I find that this Gita Gyan is dramatically special because this time it enters the heart. And there is a transformation, definitely. But still, I feel the light is switching off like that. A kind of thing just, hey, what happened? No more already. Anyway, thanks. I will treasure it. I will keep going on. And RDC definitely is a backup devotional service. And it's a what should I say? It's a great word to be followed. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to work with you. So, as what Prabhu said, it's not the end. This is the only the beginning of the what they call beginning of this adventure. We are just starting our adventure in Bhagavad Gita. There's so many things that we can always relate our life with. And now this is only the beginning. Okay, so like there'll be more and more classes. In fact, I'm planning one day we can do the Gita recital and chant the whole Bhagavad Gita. Okay, or read the entire Gita in one sitting. Takes around 4 hours, 4.5 hours. But everybody you sit and read the entire Bhagavad Gita. So like that. Anyway, Chong Ru, the way you put it was so nice, and I really grateful to you. Despite your challenges, you are still keeping the faith, and you're holding on it, and your chanting and your reading especially was very good. And you have taken up this RTC, distributing, reading and chanting. That is something very laudable. So only thing that I hope that everyone, please go and introduce this program to everyone, so that on the September, we're going to have more and more people to come, and we can see so much of transformation. Okay. So at last, I think we have, okay, Rajina Devi Mataji, would you like to speak something?
Oh, Prabhu, I'm not ready to share yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you're going to join again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And please do take note, you are also still invited to come and join part 2. Okay, again, that we're going to do on September 2nd. Don't feel anything, all right? Just come and join us, all right? So whoever that want to join on part 2, please give me your name, so that, of course, we have a dedicated group for that. I'll add you into that group, all right? Because I don't want to like crowd the group with too many messages. So that means, okay, now batch 2 will be a dedicated group for the batch 2. Then again, when we do batch 3, you see. So, but you can still, please come and join us. I'll be very happy to be in service to all of you. Because of course, the way that we present, the way that it all depends on the time, place, and circumstances, and depends on how Krishna inspires to discuss this matter. Okay. So as you know, that Bhagavad Gita is such a wonderful book. The Bhagavad Gita can solve all social problem, all family problem. It helps on business development, helps on social life, family life, relationship, everything. It works here. What is that? Okay, now when I think CS people used to ask me, how do you apply these on your motivation? Let me tell you, if as long as we have peace of mind, we can do wonders in life. We are always stumble, the blockage, we sometimes stumble, we sometimes fall down, all because of agitation, and there's no peace of mind, expectation and attachment. So when we can identify all that very scientifically, and we can overcome it. So I mean, logically, you know, okay, now I'm doing, okay, now I know I'm doing this based on Bhagavad Gita. So when you are logically, consciously, all right, you try to solve this thing, overcome, your life will be very successful. As a devotee, as a person, as an individual, as a man, as a father, as a community, in a community, and the most important, and also you can achieve the highest level of bhakti, okay, because you understand. So that's what we want. The side effect of this path is, of course, first, the real effect, you're going to get pure bhakti, you're going to get ecstatic love, but the side effect is you're going to have tremendous peace of mind, and you start to see life in a very different perspective. Okay. And remember in chapter 18, we read those, the Mahatmya, those who read Bhagavad Gita day and night, the person will be very lovable, very approachable. Remember that? Despite his past misdeeds. Anyone of you remember that? Anyone? The Gita Mahatmya.
Yes.
You remember that, right? In Gita Mahatmya says, those who day and night reads, studies Bhagavad Gita, despite of his past misdeed, in the past, we can be a very crazy, nasty people. We can be the most hateable person. But when a person reads Bhagavad Gita day and night, he accrues this kind of this thing. That means he'll be very lovable. He'll be having a very pleasant and disposal. So what does that mean? Because when we start to practice Bhagavad Gita, we have come to the level of being a human. Okay. And once we start to love each other, we start to love people. Now, when you start to see that, and another thing is study that everyone, okay, the voice sees every living entity. There's Paramatma inside. They see them in equal vision. So that means we do not discriminate. That's also already a good thing. Then whatever challenges we come, that he's not the doer. The 3 modes of material nature is in action. right? If anything happens to me, something, people come and do something, we get so upset. I know I am not this thing. It's all, it's the effect of the senses. What are the senses? 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 senses, and the 5 Mahabhuta, the element. So it's just a combination and true combination of the divine energy of Krishna, which is the 3 modes of material nature. So what Krishna said, I created these 3 modes, but I am beyond that mode. And he says, as he said it as a divine energy. This divine energy of mind, which is the 3 mode of material nature, it is the one that in action, but I am above this. So that means what? Then in the end, we understand. We are just struggling these 3 modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. When we want to go beyond it. And what is beyond it is a transcendental love. Transcendental, that means we want to transcend these 3 modes of material nature. Okay. So with this thought in mind, we end the session here. First of all, I would like to offer my obeisances to each and every one of you and Dandavat. Okay. To give me this opportunity to express myself. This is actually a situation where while I was spiritually dry, I became so dry and I wanted some kind of inspiration. Then I was just thinking, okay, I just start this because I know I love to do this program. And because of your enthusiasm, it made me more enthusiastic that I would like, I become refreshed. Okay. So I did this because to refresh myself. And of course, Krishna sent all of you such a wonderful soul. You came here to, and not only you inspire, but you also inspire me. We inspire each other. And this is nourishes the bhakti which was drying in me. Thank you so much. And we will always keep in touch. And if you have any queries, anything, any confusion, you just can send me a WhatsApp. If I'm free, I'll give you a call. If you call me, if I don't answer, I should be busy. But you can just drop a message or just give me a missed call, WhatsApp especially. So, in fact, I would like to discuss this matter because the more question you ask, the more we learn. Not only you learn, I also learn. Okay. Then on the September 2nd, we're going to have a program. But September 2nd, I was thinking of taking a break on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because there's a wedding season starting. I believe every Saturday, Sunday, there'll be wedding. And all the devotees will be like rushing for the wedding. No, they can't make it for the class. So that's why I just make it strategically Thursday. Friday, Thursday, of course, I got a Namahat program here to run. So Saturday and Sunday. Sunday morning, I'm doing a morning program, temple program in Ipoh. I'm giving class on this Gita Gyan. So we just take a 3 days break. So other 4 days, so that means 4 a week, 4 times a week, 4, 4, 4, 4. We will discuss on this. So please encourage, and I would like to thank Iskandar Balan Prabhu for introducing his niece, and I think Vaishnava Kripa, every one of you have introduced 1 or 2 person. I'm so honored. So please bring in more people, as how you saw with your own heart, with your own eyes, how people are transforming. Like that, there are so many people out there are hungry for transformation, and let's be the person who's going to lighten their life. Okay. So thank you so much. Now it's exactly 9 o'clock. And it's my great pleasure to work with you. Please kindly bless me if I've said anything very offended, if I've said anything offensive, if I've offended anyone with my gesture, my speech, or maybe my arrogance of word, kindly forgive me. I'm also still a conditioned soul, and I'm also struggling to survive and to stay aloof in this material world. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha, kripa sindhubevacha, paditanam pavinibhyo, vaishnavevayo namo namah.
Namo Namah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you,
for the
Prabhu.
effort.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Gauranga.